$350 billion in extortion money from South Korea. Yes, the United States government. Donald J. Trump. Orange von Schützenpanzer is extorting $350 billion. Reminds me of a scene of Austin Powers, that it does. Well, it is true that Donald Trump, in his infinite wisdom, okay, mashed potato for brains. There's a story behind that, but we won't get into that today. But it's true that the regime in the White House is trying to extort $350 billion from South Korea. What the money's for, well, nobody actually knows. No. But they've got 49 days to pay it. Or 45 days, sorry. 45 days to pay it. What the heck? Having a laugh, aren't you? Well, that is this administration. Regime in the White House. As to have said, they are changing the rules at a whim, changing the tariffs at a whim, and destroying businesses at a whim. And they got their sights set on South Korea. Now, we all know what happened to the Hyundai plant in Georgia, where over 350 odd people were rounded up by ICE over visa issues. Now, these aren't really visa issues because the agreement was made a very, very, very long time ago. But, you know, the agreement was a little bit, how to put it, fluffy around the edges. So ICE went in, raided it, took those people, put them in cells and concrete floors, and made them drink water from a bowl. I can't get over that. Water from a bowl on the floor. They were basically abused. Okay, they were shackled as well. Ankles, wrists, then linked together with a chain. Is this how we treat people? It's not normal. Oh, again, you know, I'm a Brit. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I'm not an American. It's not normal in the United Kingdom to shackle people. Okay? No. In fact, I live in France as well. And it's not normal to shackle people in France, even for immigration issues. And considering that some of these people have been, not the South Koreans, but deportees, have been going missing. Never to be seen again, anywhere. Now there are some allegations that some of these people have been floating on the beaches. Floating on the beaches, they're floating anyway in the Balearics. Been washed up at some of the beaches, which is, I wanted a bit more, how to put it, a bit more investigation on that. But it's horrific. Absolutely horrific. Now Donald Trump is using these rather harsh tactics, and world leaders are, well, they're capitulating to him. Apart from Canada. Elbows up! Alright? Apart from Canada. They're not capitulating, they are planning. And South Korea will probably do the same, but South Korea, their economy is very, very dependent on the United States. Now, they're already having to suffer the 25% tariffs. When, say, for instance, Japan and the European Union's tariffs are around 15%. So there's this 10% disparity, this 10% difference that narrows the gap between, say, German and French cars and Korean cars. And when you consider that, like, for instance, Kia is in a price point, sort of a lower price point, some will think, maybe I'll buy myself this car instead because it's actually potentially a better car for similar money. Yeah, the gap has been squeezed. Now, President Lee of South Korea, he made a statement regarding this rather obscene amount of money. It's just not possible.
I haven't heard the exact details yet on how they've responded so far. However, as the president has already stated, that amount currently represents 70 to 80% of Korea's total foreign exchange reserves. Without measures like swaps or similar mechanisms, the impact on the Korean economy will be too severe. Also, as a nation that had experienced a foreign exchange crisis, public vigilance on this matter is high. I believe these factors must be taken into consideration.
They throw them into crisis. It literally throw South Korea into crisis if they paid this money. Now, there are talks of swaps and stuff like that, but this is extortion. Literally extortion. It's basically saying, if you want to trade with us, you're going to have to send over $350 million. And don't forget, there's also, I've had to put it, a very difficult immigration policy. That's just, visa policy, not immigration, but work policy. That's coming. We got to pay $100,000 fee just to get your visa. H-1Bs. These skilled workers. Remember, these people were coming over to the United States and training up American workers. They're not just building the factories. In the United States, you do not have enough people of that skill base. There isn't enough people that have trained, and especially haven't trained with Korean tech, because these factories have been filled with Korean tech. It's not just Georgia, though. Not enough people are pointing out the fact, when I watch all these videos online and stuff, they're not pointing out the fact that Ford even uses Korean machinery. There's several factories, including Stellantis, in the United States, assembly plants and what have you, that use South Korean machines, which require the South Koreans to go over to do the first setup and train the people up to work on them. It was a system that was working. It was a system that was giving American workers jobs, and they reckon it's going to cost around 9,000 jobs. This is. I know I've talked about this before, my little walkie videos and stuff. Not walkie-talkie, but walkie. Walking the dogs. But, it's mind-numbingly stupid. Now, considering that Georgia is probably one of the more stupid, say as I say, I'll tell you. It is a pretty stupid place, all right? Anyone who's voting for bloody Brian Kemp and Marjorie Taylor Greene because they like guns, clearly got a feckin' screw loose. If you're voting for these people, you have got a screw loose. Seriously, something wrong up there. Tell you. I'm going to say as I say it. And when I say shit like, argument's sake, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which one should I do? Oh, let's do Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, for Christ's sake. These people are lunatics.
I'm Marjorie Greene, and I approve this ad. America's the greatest country in the world. We need conservatives in Washington that will keep it that way. I'm running to stop gun control. Open borders. The Green New Deal. And socialism. Democrats fight for their socialist agenda every single day. I'll fight even harder to stop them. I'm Marjorie Greene, Republican for Congress. Save America, stop socialism.
Not only that gun she's got there, she's donated it. By the website. To a lucky American. It's either that gun or another one she's doing, but it's just, she's a fucking lunatic. Her and her bloody, space lasers and Jewish space lasers. And, the seeding of the clouds being controlled by Joe Biden. She's an absolute lunatic. These are the kind of people, alright? Remember that sensible, rather clever, educated Koreans have to deal with. And this is Brian Kemp, right? Who's going to be, this fall he's going to South Korea to try and sort something out. But unless they've got a visa policy in place, they ain't got nothing really to sort out, have they? They just haven't. And the fact of the matter is, there is, which I'll show you in a minute, the Koreans themselves are, they're not going to go. They're not going to go. No matter what's negotiated, they don't trust Donald Trump. The people in South Korea believes he's a fucking idiot. Yeah? Like I say, he's got mashed potato for brains. Yes. Fucking roll on it, man. It's just unbelievable. And so these people...
happened down there. What really happened down there.
Also broke his silence on the Hyundai plane immigration raid near Savannah.
I think there's a lot of confusion about what really happened down there.
The raid saw...
Confusion, eh? I don't think there's any fucking confusion what happened down there. They were all basically told to follow the line, go down here and go down there, and then they were shackled. Shackled, for feck's sake. You know? Now he's going on about reform to the visa system, but you know, he's just a fucking idiot, and I can prove it. I can definitely prove it.
I'm Brian Kemp. This is Jake, a young man interested in one of my daughters.
Yes, sir.
Jake asked why I was running for governor. I said, 1,
cap government spending.
2,
take a chainsaw to regulations.
3,
make Georgia #1 for small business.
and 2 things if you're gonna date one of my daughters.
Respect,
And
a healthy appreciation for the Second Amendment, sir.
we're gonna get along just fine.
Brian Kemp for governor.
Really? No thanks. Doesn't mean he's just pointing a shotgun at his potential son-in-law. These people are out their fucking brains. But it gets worse. Seriously, how can it get worse? But it
I'm
does.
Brian Kemp. I'm so conservative. I blow up government spending
And I've got a toy in your
Oh, God.
penis.
that no one's taking away. My chainsaw's ready to rip up some regulations.
Oh, look at you still. Oh, ain't it so
I
big?
got a big truck,
Oh, it's a big truck.
just
and
in
all.
case I need to round up criminal illegals and take them home
Yeah,
myself.
what, Greens? Yeah, what?
Yep, I just said that. I'm Brian Kemp. If you want a politically incorrect conservative, that's me.
Now, do you get the point, all right? Do you understand? These are the people that the South Koreans have got to negotiate with. Huh? Anyway, if we get back to this chappie, I've been talking on behalf of the Prime Minister. Is that actually the Prime Minister? I can't remember now. But anyway, I'm going to bring us over a little bit to 347. There we go. And this is very relevant.
To alleviate the burden on the automotive sector caused by the ongoing
And the
negotiations.
tariffs.
More problematic also for Korean companies has been the visa issue, especially with the plant in Georgia. What sort of resolution can we expect on that front?
Before discussing what kind of solution there is, realistically, without a solution, it's difficult to invest in the United States and carry out the various joint projects currently planned between South Korea and the US. We absolutely must find a solution. Several projects are underway between South Korea and the US. Without resolving the visa issue, meaningful progress remains virtually impossible. The detention incident dealt a severe blow not only to the general Korean public, but especially to the workers who were actually detained. In the absence of firm assurances regarding their safety, both they and their families are understandably reluctant to enter the US again while this matter remains unresolved.
Exactly. Would you? Would you go back into the United States after what the trauma that you just been through? Would you take the risk? Would you have to be bribed to do so? Hmm? See, the damage that's been done by this ice rage is immense. It's well, talk about burning bridges. You've certainly burnt your bridges with South Korea, because I can't see these people coming back. Not unless they're forced to. I don't think South Koreans work that way. North Korea maybe. But, it just doesn't make any sense why they did it. Now, they're saying that they were working on the esters, which technically speaking, not supposed to be. But there was an agreement in place. It started actually back in 2008, and it got replaced with the ester. But it was like... It was just... I think what the thing we have to understand is that it's the way they were treated. Inhumane. It is all about dehumanizing people, and it's disgusting. And those people perpetrating it, the ice raid, the so-called ice raid people, ice baby. Anyway, those fucking cretins. One day I hope that they'll find themselves in front of the courts, because the boots that have been put onto people, the way they're beating people up and all sorts of shit, totally against any kind of human rights. Well, there's no human rights in the United States anymore, is there? Quite frankly, you're not a member of the international human rights anyway, are you? Well, definitely not the European, because you're not in Europe. But anyway, it's time for me to go. Tell me what you think about all this. Do you reckon that South Koreans going to come? Do you reckon that they're going to be able to negotiate a deal with Donald Trump? Because I'll tell you now, I've said it a million times before, there ain't no deal to be had. They had a deal, and then Donald Trump all of a sudden said, sorry, no, well, didn't say sorry, just we're going to tariff you 25%, even though originally they agreed 15, sorry. But even that's bad. That was 2.8% before. Now that was, for cars and stuff like that, that's sort of a normal tariff, These other tariffs are crazy. And who pays the tariffs? It's obviously you that pay the tariffs. Always is. All you are is tax collectors. Well, no, actually, the importers are basically tax collectors for the US Treasury, which those costs get passed on to you. They can only, suck up a certain amount of these costs. They can't do it forever, And it's starting to filter through. How much are you paying for, I don't know, a pound of beef, for instance? Beefsteak. Prices are going through the roof for everything. The costs have just been piling on, and then you got the tariffs. And you're in an environment where there is inflation anyway, which is every month it seems to be going up. So everything's become more expensive. Food tariffs are going up. Everything's going up. But your wages haven't. People are losing jobs left, right, and centre. It is dire. By Christmas, you're really going to notice it. Because of Donald Trump. Because a whole load of fucking idiots voted for the orange von Schitzenpants, and that they did. They put the cross in the wrong box. Anyway, what say you? Please beat the old like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, or bell icon, because then you get one plus thing in your pocket every time I upload another video. And I hope you be excited about that. And then I might sweet talk you, whisper sweet nothings in your ear. Sorry, I snorted. Anyway. If you want to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon, the Bard's Coffee, and the links are also down below. There's also super thanks and stuff like that. So, yeah. Blimey. Thank people who've already done it. Shall I go now? I reckon so. Toodaloo. Do you know what? I pressed the wrong button.